I'm Tesla, and this is Magically Mindful. Here I share my journey of growth and what it means to live authentically through life's polarity, the messy and the magical, the highs and the lows, and everything in between. Think of this as an open diary for your soul, here to remind you that you're never alone. Hello, beauty babe. Welcome back to Magically Mindful, the podcast. You have a choice. Every day, you and me, we have a choice. And that is to live in the past, present, or future. What do I mean by this? Recently, I found myself reflecting on this idea of chasing. And I, for many years, have had this awareness around the concept behind chasing happiness. Oh, I'll be happy once I get this. Or, yeah, very much this kind of idea of being out of the present moment because we're always focusing on something in the future in terms of, once I get this thing, then I will be happy. I will feel loved. I will this, that, and the other. But recently, what occurred to me was this thought of, oh, I just want to get back to feeling normal. And one of my friends often says this, like, oh, I just want to feel normal. I just want to feel good. But I realized in the big picture of it all, we are never the same because everything is constantly changing. So while we have our routines and there's patterns in our lives, how we feel yesterday, it doesn't mean that we're going to feel that way tomorrow. And how I felt a week ago, I may not ever feel that way again. And obviously, patterns, like I said, those, like the way that we love or the way that we get excited about things, there's going to be patterns in that way. But I think this just plays into that. I don't know what I want to call it. Is it a concept or an idea, a reality of that many of us are constantly chasing something in the future, but there's also the other side of the coin where we are chasing the past. Hence the I just want to feel normal again. Because what the fuck does that even mean? This I want to feel normal again. And like I've said it my own self, and when I, a few years ago, found myself feeling mildly depressed, I was chasing the past. I tried to retrace my steps to figure out, okay, how can I get back to feeling like I once did? How can I get back to that version of Tesla? But that version of me doesn't even exist anymore. And it didn't at that time either when I was going through that season of depression. And honestly, I think why that depression, that funk, for at first for months I was just thinking, oh, I'm in a funk, but then I thought, oh, I must be depressed because this is going away. And why I think it became prolonged, I think it was a year, maybe longer. It was likely because I believe, not even it's likely, I believe that that was because I was chasing something that no longer existed. Because everything is in constant motion. We're constantly changing. And that's why, I mean, even on a, I want to say a chemical level, but I don't know if that's the right way to say this for the example that I want to use. But our taste buds, like how our taste buds change and hormones, all of these things, right? These all play a part in how we feel. And I want to talk to you about this because I want to bring the awareness forth so that you can check in with yourself and recognize this, and then bring about the compassion. Because in our society, things do move fast, and a lot of the mindset can be around needing to keep up with that fast pace, which, if you've been here for a little while, you'll know I think that that's fucking bullshit. I'm all about going at my own pace. And something that I have spoken about over the last few months throughout various episodes is my state of being. In the last episode, I spoke on my recent experience around going through a dark night of the soul for about a month. It wasn't just one night. And yeah, I have found myself feeling stressed out by my money situation. Cancel, clear, delete. I always want to be mindful of the language that I'm using, but that's how it has felt. However, something has shifted, and that's my mindset and what I'm speaking about with you right now. All of this mindset around living in the present moment. I think I'm not a doctor. I'm speaking from my own personal experiences, but in my own journey with experiencing prolonged funks that became mild depression and stress and this and that, all of these types of like kind of icky emotions, those only have dragged out if I stay under the cloud of them. And when that happens, we're not being present. And to give you a very specific example, in terms of my financial situation, having experienced for the last little while that my outcome is more than my income, cancel, clear, delete, I have spiraled several times about this because I would get caught up in the future thinking, and I know there's kind of a fine line with this because, yes, we do want to plan for the future, but it's also not promised. So when these spirals would present themselves, what would trigger them is if I were to have looked at my bank account and then I'm on my calendar thinking, okay, with all of these upcoming DoorDash shifts, I can expect to make this amount. I'm not going to have enough. Cancel, clear, delete. So that has happened so many times in the last few months of being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I just feel fucking miserable. But what has shifted, which I'm so grateful for, is that I realized, okay, I need to be present. And even with the other example that I spoke about, oh, if you're feeling like you've been in a funk or you haven't been feeling like how you'd want to feel, and you're like, I just want to get back to normal, like you're chasing something that, like, what even is that? Is there even such thing as our normal? Like, I think we have a certain baseline, and when we know ourselves well enough, we can have an idea of that feeling. But with the nature of being human, so much is always happening. So fucking much. Like, there's cars driving by right now that I can kind of hear, and like, there's just all of these things are going on around us and also inside of us. So there's no fucking normal. I just don't think that there's a normal. That's really what has inspired me to speak on this in this episode, is that I just realized I'm like, well, what the fuck even is normal? And this this just ties into the power of presence, because if we can just focus on being present each and every day, and of course, because we're human, there's gonna be moments throughout our day that we might not be as present. We might be in depending on, say, what type of job you have, you might be just doing a routine thing and you're maybe even having an out of body experience. It's just like automatic what you're doing. Like you're doing data entry and you're just like, yep, this is what there's not even much thought that goes into it because it's that routine, that pattern. So, yes, we're going to have moments throughout the day, but if we can be intentional and, as simple as set a reminder on your phone, if it's a breathe alarm, like breathe every 30 minutes, every hour, whatever feels good to you, or even if that reminder is just present and maybe you want to connect with your five senses every couple of hours or more frequently. What do I hear? What do I taste? What do I feel? What do I smell? Checking, was that all 5? Hear, taste, eat, smell. Hear, I just said taste and eat. Wait, what are they all? We have our touch. I keep using different words. Touch, smell, vision, taste. Why do I not know what the fifth one is? Oh my goodness. Hey Google, what are the 5 senses? Oh, I think I forgot hearing. So yeah, all of those. I had to ask my Google assistant. I was like, "Wait, what am I missing?" So yes, hear. Hello, that's what you're doing right now. You're listening to me. So if you can check in these sorts of things, like figuring out what is it that works best for you. It could also be a reminder to move your body. Maybe you want to do some jumping jacks or jump up and down for 60 seconds. Doing all of these sorts of things, well, all of these examples that I just gave, they get you back into your body. That's what presence is being in the moment in your body. Because when I have a spiral, it's a mental spiral. It and it numbs my body for sure, but then it's like, yeah, I'm not really being present in my body. I'm just like become paralyzed. So grounding. Being grounded is obviously so fucking important as a human because our mind, it's like all the way up here. And so, how can we come back down to earth and find that connection? We do, obviously, we have a brain and our minds and thoughts for a reason. It's not about abolishing them, but, especially practicing meditation, which I am saying that for my own self because it's something that I want to get back into and I still have yet to do so. But that is such an easy and fantastic way to practice presence. So I would be so curious and invite you to reflect and see, how are you living? Are you living in the past, the present, or the future? And maybe write it down. Write down whether, like, when you catch yourself and you're like, wait, I'm living in the past, or yeah, if you just want to kind of make mental notes of it throughout the day and replace that with two things: the reminder to ground into your body, whether it's movement, it's the five senses, it's breathing, whatever you want to do. And then also use affirmations to rewrite the thoughts that you're having from past or future into the presence. And notice how you end up feeling, because I have found a huge shift when I chose to stop living in the past or the future and live in the present moment. And sometimes in the present moment, we can feel fear and we can feel anxiety and sadness and depression and all of these things. But may this episode serve as a reminder that you always have a choice and we can choose to be happy now. We can choose to be loved, to be supported, to be safe now. all of that comes from within. It doesn't come outside of us. It doesn't, of course, accomplishments and things can, like experiences, traveling, all these things, it can bring about those emotions, but depending on what your lifestyle is, for me right now, like I would love to be traveling or having made the move to New Zealand, but that's not my reality right now, and I'm very much in the thick of searching for a remote job and not loving my current DoorDash duties, but I said no more of being miserable. We have to find the glimmers, the silver linings, the peaks of sunshine in each and every day. Because the more that we do that, the better we're going to feel. And life is short, nothing is promised. So that's why I really strongly believe it is so important to invite in those good, happy feelings into your reality right now so that you can really anchor it in and welcome in the things that you want with open arms. I hope that this episode was supportive. You can come back and listen to it anytime. And if there is someone that you love who you feel that could benefit from this, please share it with them. And if you had any takeaways, aha moments, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone you love, and let's keep the conversation going on Instagram at Magically Mindful Podcast. For collaborations and partnerships, email magicallymindfulpodcast@gmail.com. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please leave us a review so we can continue to grow this amazing community.